And the time now is 9 a.m. straight up on this Sunday morning, and you are taking a live look over Galveston, along with a current look at Beryl's expected track to the Texas coast. The storm brewing in the Gulf. Thanks for being up with us. I'm Sherman Chow here with Ron Trevine.
Our team weather coverage and traffic coverage continues this morning. Cheetah Craft, Kim Castro, and Jennifer Reyna are joining us. We're getting to the latest forecast in just a moment, but first, here's a look at the colleges that will be closed tomorrow. The list includes Alvin Community College, Brazosport College, San Jacinto Community College, the University of Houston Victoria, and Wharton County Junior College. Local districts include Cleveland, Crosby, Dickinson, and Hitchcock so far. We also have a full list of school closures on our website, KHOU.com.
And the storm may delay trash pickup tomorrow. This is a tweet from Texas City, where officials will make a decision on Monday's pickup today by 6 p.m. Double check to be sure your area is still on schedule for trash pickup before you put out those cans. Remember, they can get tossed around in the strong winds.
This morning, Centerpoint is preparing for potential impacts from Beryl here in the Houston area. Right now, the company's power outage tracker map remains down after technical issues during the derecho back in May. As of now, we're seeing about 1,900 outages for Centerpoint customers. Remember, if you or someone you love is dependent on power for life-sustaining medical equipment, make a backup plan right now. Never use generators inside your home or inside a closed space. Stay away from rising water, which can hide submerged outlets or electrical cords. And this is so important, you're going to hear us say it all day. Stay away from downed power lines. Experts say you should remain at least 30 feet away and call 311 to report it, and only call 911 in case of an emergency. The Trinity River Authority says repairs to the Lake Livingston Dam will be done by tomorrow. The dam's spillway was damaged in recent storms. This video from Friday shows crews on the scene working on repairs. Officials are saying the dam will be able to handle larger amounts of water by tomorrow without its integrity being impacted.
And here's a live look at Hobby Airport as the holiday weekend wraps up. Today is expected to be another record-setting travel day with thousands expected to fly through Houston airports.
We'll be closely monitoring flight updates throughout the morning and keep you updated on the air and online. At this hour, a FlightAware's misery map isn't tracking too many problems at the airports.
Yeah, that could change though. Cheetah Craft.
They sure could. That's right. You know, Beryl is still in the Gulf, and we are watching this as a tropical storm. So I'm showing you the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center. We will have another update at 10 a.m. When we get that information, we'll pass that right along to you. Today, we are under a weather impact alert day. We are already going to see the outermost bands of Tropical Storm Beryl impact the area midday through your afternoon. Still anticipating landfall early tomorrow morning, I think sometime between 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. as a Category 1 hurricane. Live look at the radar. Take a look at these outer bands from Beryl that's closing in on the coastline here. I'm going to zoom in. We're already tracking some showers across the area. No thunderstorms. This is not severe, but you are going to notice some rain at times across the area. So from Fort Bend, Wharton County, notice along the east side, Liberty, and portions of eastern Harris County as well. Not enough to completely disrupt the day, but what I'm watching early this morning is from Matagorda to Brazoria, because we are going to have waves of these tropical showers and storms throughout the day. Future tracks showing 4:30 this afternoon, some of these thunderstorms will be capable of producing some heavy downpours. Now let's get into tomorrow. This is when Beryl is expected to make landfall. Remember, over Matagorda County, potentially as a Category 1 hurricane, and watch the overnight timeline. So 2:30 in the morning, torrential rain from Matagorda to Brazoria. The rain today is going to saturate the grounds. So then this heavy rain that happens overnight and early, we are quickly going to see areas with flash flooding. So high water spots are going to be a threat and a concern. Now, as Beryl continues to move inland, watch how it races to the north. There are 4 components that we are going to be monitoring with Tropical Storm Beryl, or what is expected to become Hurricane Beryl. 1, it's going to be the amount of rain that we pick up. Two, it's going to be the winds, potentially picking up winds, tropical storm force inland, but hurricane force all along the coastline, and that's why those warnings are in effect. That's especially going to be the case overnight and through the day on Monday. So with that, also storm surge potentially up to about 4 to 5 feet in Galveston, potentially up to about 6 feet closer to Matagorda Bay. And then, of course, the risk of tornadoes. When you see some of the red and the purple there on our future track, that is when we're tracking torrential rain, but also the potential of some spin-ups. This is a lot of energy. It's all coming out of the Gulf. Once that energy moves on land, the friction helps to spin and create that spin in the atmosphere. That's where we get the twisting of the winds. That's why tornadoes are very common with these tropical systems. 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, watch how Beryl just races northward. I mean, this is lunchtime, 12:30, and the center of circulation is already in our northern counties, but that's taking the outer bands of Beryl across our northern counties as well. So just keep that in mind. Those are the 4 threats that we'll be monitoring. But by Monday evening, 9 o'clock, it is out of here. We get back to kind of a typical pattern, even starting on Tuesday. So we are going to be under this threat tonight, overnight, and throughout the day on Monday. And then that's basically about it. So the impacts that we're expecting, this tornado threat today and tomorrow. The flooding threat is mainly for tomorrow. That's thanks to those saturated grounds and rainfall rates potentially around 2, 3, 4 inches per hour. And then notice landfall again expected early Monday. I'm going to bring in meteorologist Kim Castro. We've been talking about all the components. You know, another big component though is the wind. We're going to have tropical storm force or hurricane force winds.
Wind, heavy rain, the threat for severe weather, all of that is on the table. So let me recap this for you. What does this mean as we get ready for Beryl to make landfall? Today, throughout the day, she just showed you those rain bands are already moving in. The outer bands from Beryl are going to bring us on and off showers throughout the day. You can still make preparations until 10 o'clock in the evening. From there on out, you need to switch the mode from prepare to protect, meaning you need to be inside where you're going to be to ride out Beryl by 10 o'clock in the evening. We've got weather impact alerts for you today through tomorrow, and the time frame to watch is really going to be late tonight through the overnight hours into the first part of our Monday. Now, we have a weather impact alert throughout the day on Monday because even when Beryl pushes up north, the impacts are going to be trickling down. So we could still have flooded roadways, we could still have flooded homes, we could certainly have power outages down trees, a big cleanup process that continues past Beryl's interaction with Southeast Texas. So beyond 10 o'clock, those bands move in, Beryl dumps down heavy rain, brings us the threat for that severe weather, brings us the threat for those tornadoes. The storm surge threat is there, the wind threat is there. So all of those impacts will be tracking through about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Beyond that, a couple residual showers will be there, and then we'll be looking at the impacts from the cleanup. Now, we showed you those heavy rain bands. Look at these wind gusts that we're expecting from Beryl too. So right now, Harris County down to the coastline, either under a tropical storm warning or a hurricane warning. And this is why 74-mile-an-hour wind gusts in Sugar Land, that is a hurricane force wind gust. So we'll be tracking that even as far inland as Fort Bend County. This could push into Harris County. So keep that in mind. Not only will we see the threat for flooding, we could see those heavy wind impacts that could knock out heavy large trees, could knock out windows. This type of wind force is something that we have to take very seriously. So what are the main risks with Beryl? To recap it for you again, hurricane force wind threat. That's something that we have to monitor very closely, especially if Beryl continues to intensify at the pace that it's at. Right now we're watching Beryl, still a tropical storm. However, it's starting to slowly get the wraparound moisture again and slowly starting to form that eye. So it could make landfall as a Category 1. I wouldn't be surprised if it jumps up to a Category 2. We'll watch the downpours for coastal storm surge and rain flooding inland, and then that enhanced risk for tornadoes like Cheetah was talking about. All of these are on the table, Jen.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm here to tell folks that in advance, please make any wrap of what you need to do today, because we're going to, by tonight, be telling you to stay off of the roads. So only drive if necessary. We want everybody to avoid those flooded roads, especially when we get flash flooding. You don't want damage to your vehicle or your life being threatened. We'll want to watch for weakened roadways. We'll be here talking about any high water spots that come out of the Houston Transtar situation, or any buckling of roads. We will be here to alert you. Be vigilant around higher vehicles. If you have to be on the roads, it's going to be those 18-wheelers and bigger vehicles that might splash water up or throw you off. We are expecting some debris to be scattered about, maybe trash cans, maybe down trees. Power lines are going to be an issue, and if we have power outages, you know what that means. Signal light issues. We just saw this not long ago where it really impacted the drive. Now, the vehicles that are closer to the coast, we're asking you to move those to higher ground in case we do have a storm surge. Fill your gas tanks today. We have been seeing over the weekend gas stations really packed with folks trying to prepare. We're not trying to frighten you. We're just trying to inform you that if that's something you care to do in advance, great. Airport-wise, flight delays or ground stops are likely within that 24-hour period. Right now, we do have some wet road conditions. You can see along the coast, we're already seeing some of the remnants or some of the splash there from Beryl come toward our area. Galveston way up north here, so we'll be keeping you posted. In Richmond right now, it's slippery along 69, but no incidents over on the southwest. This is what it looks like live outside with our Houston Transtar camera. Remember, when we have power outages, we start losing some of these camera shots that we can show you, so we're going to be keeping our fingers crossed that we have access to that. This is the East Freeway, outbound Feeder Road at Sheldon. We've got some activity out there, so that's the only blip on our traffic radar as of right now. We'll be back in an hour around 10 a.m. for another digital update. Until then, stay safe, and we'll be here for you and your family, so tune in.